fun it is to ride in a horse open sleigh. Oh, the wedding book, what the wedding book, oh, the wedding book, what the wedding book. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. What fun it is to ride in a horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making our spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
I know you're a monster. I know you're a monster. Foxtrot, do you copy? It's just as we thought. Under the farmhouse. shared a look, broke into smiles and lingered for a while, and took the dues from goodbye. To money in a bag high, they laughed and thought of their lives, remembering the good times. There's truth in what you said, hey baby, yeah, there's truth in what you said. There's truth in what you said, hey baby, there's truth in what you said. There's light in what you said, hey baby, yeah, there's light in what you said. There's light in what you said, hey baby, yeah, there's light in what you said. You know that I love you, boys, you've each done me really proud. They held their hands at 8 eyes closed and took a last look at the clouds.
That's a really great intro that you did there. I
I know. I
appreciate
tried
that.
my best. I tried my best. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Man, I look terrible today. But episode 72 of Those Two Nerds. Man, winter is here. It is colder than ever in the Ohio area, which we are located from. But we won't disclose the full location. You know, there's enough hackers out there. You guys can find us.
Yeah, it really wouldn't even be that hard.
No, honestly, if you just don't hack my stuff, I'll tell you where I live. Okay, how about that? Like, I'll even cut a
Yeah.
deal with you. But
Yeah, just don't
hope
show up to my
everybody's-
house.
yeah, hopefully everybody's having a great Sunday. Pretty big week as far as Star Wars news. A lot of things came out, a lot of theories. We're not going to get into it because I was told I wasn't allowed to.
No, you're not allowed to spoil the season finale of The Mandalorian.
I didn't know it was the season finale.
Yeah, that's it. It's 8 episodes. We're done. We're done. Till
Yeah, like
next year.
I didn't know that. I will say there is a post-credit scene that is very worthy and kind of gives you a hint on where the Mandalorian's going to go.
There's theories though. We're not sure if that's going to be like its own show or if that's going to be the if that's what season 3 is going to be.
Yeah, but
Either way, I don't really care. I want to watch it. So I mean,
all I got to
in.
say is like I said, the post-credit scene, it may or may not have gave me the biggest nerd boner ever, but it was pretty special.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
mean, we can't really talk too much about it other than
I know.
it was awesome. I mean, I was sitting
I
there,
almost shed a tear.
I was texting you while I was watching it, and I just kept saying, "No spoilers, but holy shit! No spoilers, holy shit!" That's all
Yeah,
I just
no,
kept
it
saying. I couldn't even.
It was
get
good.
out.
It was really good to watch and actually sit there and kind of watch it that night after hearing about the spoilers. Like I said, I didn't know what was going to happen.
No,
just knew
I
that-
stayed offline until I could watch it. I knew something was going to happen. I mean, we knew that because they said this is the season finale. It's all been leading up to this, and I'm like, I'm staying offline. I'm staying off Twitter because
Yeah.
they are the spoilers bunch of bitches in the universe. Is everybody on Twitter?
Well,
So-
I will say 90% of the time. So the reason why I found out it was the season finale was actually from Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Because he posted a tweet that said, holy cow, or whatever. Like that not spoiler, but the finale of Mandalorian made me cry. Actually tear up and cry.
I won't lie. I got a little misty eyed. It was
Yeah. It was. I had to see who was cutting the onions in the house, but like I said, it was really strong. It was a very emotional piece, and this is the best thing that I think Marvel does in general. I mean, from Marvel to Star Wars, Disney as a whole, they keep the story all together. Like I feel so much more closure of the last 3 movies that have came out. After, like, it just keeps everything together, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not disappointed, but they do the same thing with Marvel. I mean, think about all the solo movies they had from Iron Man, Black Panther, now, Black Widow, all this stuff. And
Marvel
they're
is
keeping it
still
all
sort of its
together.
own contained thing, right? Like the people that work on the Marvel stuff, they may consult occasionally on the stuff in the Star Wars stuff and vice versa, but they're ultimately considered their own little things. And um, Favreau, I think that's how you say his name, the creator basically of the Mandalorian. He worked in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's Happy
Yeah,
Hogan in the Marvel Cinematic
yeah,
Universe. He
yeah. I was
plays
gonna
Iron
say,
Man's
yeah.
like homeboy. Like he basically wrote the first two Iron Man movies, and that's why they're amazing.
Yeah.
So like he said, his experience within that has kind of like helped him do this. And then I always mispronounce the guy's name, but Filoni, I think, or Filani, I'm not sure. He's the guy that came up with the Clone Wars, and he does Rebels,
Yeah.
and Ahsoka Tano is his creation. Like she's a fan favorite
Yeah.
character now. Like all the fans are saying, give Favreau and give Filoni the keys to the Star Wars universe and just let them do whatever they want, because clearly in
They know
in,
what they're
in,
doing.
in 16 episodes, right? They did more to restore my faith in Disney owning the Star Wars franchise than 3 blockbuster billion-dollar movies that came out, which
Yeah.
ultimately divided the fan base. I mean, I understand that the prequels also divided the fan base, but it's bad when the people who used to say, "Oh my God, the prequels are terrible," are coming out now and saying, "Well, man, at least the prequels aren't the sequels," you know. And it's not that everything about the sequels was bad. Like we liked parts of the sequels. I mean, we went and
So
saw them all.
yeah.
There was parts of it that were okay, but I have to admire that even
Yeah.
though the prequels were loathed for a little while, they never ignored it. They said, George Lucas said this shit happened. We're going to stick with it. We're going to ride it out. We're going to try and make the best of a situation that's not good. Like Jar Jar Binks, they didn't write him out. He's in the Clone Wars. He
Yeah.
has major roles in the Clone Wars, and they tried to at least make him more likable, even though he was loathed by fans.
Yeah.
The
It's good. Like I said, I think, like I said, last night actually kind of funny story, because we had our holiday bash. It was pretty funny because at the end of the night I was hanging out with my cousin and we started watching Revenge of the Sith. And I didn't really want to watch the whole movie through because it's a long movie.
it really is.
So we just skipped pretty much for the good parts, the main part, important parts. Like when Mace Windu comes in to confront Lord of the Galaxy, pretty much the head honcho. I'm too weak, and that whole debacle, and we all say the same thing. You see this man shooting lightning out of his hands and just fucking up Mace Windu. And you're like, nah, this guy can't be bad. Can't be that bad.
Yeah, it was.
And-
It was still the motivation behind it. It was selfish motivation.
And it was just so funny because, like I said, he's like, he has to stand trial. It's the Jedi way. and then he cuts his hand off. Cuts his hand off. And then he's like, oh, I'm too weak. Please don't kill me.
Well,
Then he
and
goes
if
unlimited power.
and
just laugh.
if Samuel L. Jackson would have been allowed to write his own dialogue for that part, I think the part where he gets hit with the lightning, he'd have been like, "Motherfucker," as he falls out the window. But that's just my theory. I don't know.
And like I said, then we skip to obviously when Yoda's going against him, and Yoda's just hopping all around, just doing Yoda shit. And then the Execute Order 66, and you're like, man, I'm starting to cry a little bit when Execute Order 66 is happening. These people don't even expect it. And I gotta say this, with the Execute Order 66, how'd they know that was the way? That's what they were gonna do.
They were programmed.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
They were programmed to be loyal to the person who created them. I mean,
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure.
it was
'Cause I wasn't-
basically, it wasn't like artificial intelligence. Just they were programmed to follow orders.
Well, I was gonna say
And when you get
did they
into
open up the book?
No, I mean you get into the Clone Wars, right? And they actually show some of the clones were like, no. I mean, they still were humans. They still had individual free will, but some of them. I mean, the same thing happens though when you talk about people who are in the military, and then your
Yeah.
government comes in and says you need to murder all these people in this village, and yeah, some people are going to be like, I don't know about that. They're going to question that. They've been trained to follow orders, but they're
What
gonna go.
about that one, Chief?
That seems shitty. You know, like I don't want to do that. So,
Yeah. Is
um,
there another way? Like, is there an option B? But no, like I said, I was like sitting there. I was like, huh. Would they go in their manuals and like start flipping like, execute order 60? All right, kill all the Jedi. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, let's go, guys.
it's one of those great Star Wars mysteries behind the scenes that we'll
Yeah,
never really
and then
really fully
so
understand.
we watched that part, like that whole segment, and then we ended up watching obviously the duel between Anakin slash Darth Vader slash the Supreme Leader, and him and Obi-Wan, and they're sitting there just going at it. And by the way, that fight scene's so good. And then we had to skip to the most quotable part in the movie. If you're not with me, you're my enemy. And then they go into like the whole only Sith deals in absolutes. Like it's a great little quote, like a whole quoting section. Like I can quote the whole thing. Like you know, I will do what I must. You will try, and then they just go at it for like a solid 30 minutes left in the movie. And then the high ground. The high ground's the best thing, and I love reading all the theories about like how Obi-Wan knew he was gonna do the move that he did in episode 1.
He
I'm
trained
like,
him.
I was gonna say that dude made the move. You don't think that dude knew how to counter the move?
Obi-Wan trained him.
I mean, hey, in all fairness, he did tell him straight up. He was like, "Don't try it." And of course, he flips up in the air and gets his legs cut off. Like my man was weak after that one.
I mean, you got to remember that even up to that point, he didn't want to kill
hurt him.
Anakin. He didn't want to hurt him.
Yeah.
Anakin's been sitting here for an hour and a half trying to just cut down his old master with a lightsaber. They're hovering over volcanoes and lava and all this stuff. And even to this point, Obi-Wan is still like, nah, man, don't do it, because you won't win. You won't succeed. I mean, no, he won't be able to forgive him, but that was still like, that was his brother. That was his, basically like his family member. He looked at him like blood. He didn't.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you train with him, you watch him grow up. You're like I said, you're like the dad to him or whatever you want to call it. And I was sitting there and I was kind of like, this movie has aged well with me. Because like when I first watched this, I think I was just too young to appreciate it.
I honestly, I never disliked the prequels. I disliked parts of the prequels, but overall,
I can't watch
enjoyed them.
episode 1. I can't.
I actually really like episode 1 now. I feel like at least it has a plot. It might be ridiculous, but at least it has a plot. It does set things up. The emotional bond between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn is important. And that's the other thing too, was that Obi-Wan Kenobi made a promise to Qui-Gon Jinn, his old master, that he was going to train Anakin. He was going to protect him and train him. So you even see that in that last scene in Revenge of the Sith, where he's like, I made a promise to my master, like, that I wasn't going to hurt him. But
the best when he shows up in the like basically the kids daycare center and just what are we going to do? There's too many of them, and he's just looking at the kid like, I'm gonna fuck you up, boy.
well, that's I don't know. That's where it got kind of dark, right? He goes around and basically kills kids, and people are just like, you can still be redeemed. We can still save you. Dude, you just chopped up little kids with your lightsaber.
Okay.
There's no redemption from that.
Now hear me out.
You're going to fucking Sith jail, okay? Where they put evil
You did not.
people.
You don't know he actually killed him.
He killed him.
Nope.
It's on the cameras. They watched the holocron footage of him killing younglings. Obi-Wan said that. He goes, we have footage of him killing younglings. Like, it was upsetting to him. So even after Obi-Wan watches him murder these kids in the Jedi Temple, he still didn't want to hurt him.
Moral of the story is Darth Vader's just misunderstood.
Yeah, he's just a misunderstood guy. He did it all for love.
Hey,
He's the meatloaf of the Star Wars saga. He would do anything for love, but he won't do that. We're not sure what that is, but you know,
the things you do for love.
apparently even murdering children is okay with it, as long as it's within the confines of an epic space battle with lightsabers.
You're not wrong.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, they weren't really like defenseless. They just didn't have a chance, right? Like at that point, they all had been trained to fight. All
They
of them.
needed some skill based matchmaking.
But I guess that would have, because that would have, like, if you would have posed the question, who would win in a fight, like 25, under the age of 10, Jedi Force sensitive children with lightsabers against Darth Vader? We answered the question. Darth Vader wins.
Yeah. Well, what is the question? It was like, I think it was like some skit or something like that. Or maybe not. It was just like random like questions you ask your buddies. They were like, how many third graders do you think you could take on at the same time?
Yeah. Well,
And like kick their ass.
Your sister's been on this like thread. We're gonna talk about this for a second, just because I think it's funny. Of the hypotheticals of who would win in a fight. I think it's 25. No, yeah, it's 25 fifth graders with knives, but
With knives?
but no combat training
I
against
hope not.
against Muhammad Ali in his prime.
With knife.
Yes,
How sharp's the knife?
I mean they're just knives. There's knives like kitchen knives.
Now, my thing is this: do you think the kids could throw it at a fast enough speed to puncture?
To throw the knives, that's kind of up
Yeah.
for you to decide.
Okay,
There are people that are citing on the air of, oh, Muhammad Ali would kill all those kids. He goes, they said the first thing he would do is he'd punch one of them so hard it would kill them, and then he'd pick it up and like wield it like a weapon and just flail it around. And I was like, okay, I don't care who you are. You hit a certain point of no return where there's just the odds are against you. You're one guy. Getting
I can
stabbed
say-
hurts.
Okay, now hear me out. I don't think Muhammad Ali could take on 25 children with knives. Now, if it was 25 children, oh yeah, he beat all their asses. Like it wouldn't even be.
Well, then they
Wouldn't be a
also said
close
like this, like two different scenarios. The first scenario is him in a classroom with desks, and the second scenario is him in an arena in a boxing ring. Like who would win? I was like, I'm sorry, Muhammad Ali, greatest of all time, but yeah, no. So I have to side on the air of this is 25 people trying to stab you.
Dude,
Even
I
if
think
you took 9 or 10 of them out, that's still 15 people trying to stab you. So
this is. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he could take on 10.
I don't think any person, even like an MMA fighter who's really good at grappling and all that other kind of stuff. I don't even think then like you're gonna like the odds are against you.
Okay. This is. You know what? I know what we're gonna do today. This is like Phineas and Ferb right here. I know what we're gonna do today. I have 44 hypothetical questions pulled up, and let's go through. Let's just debate hypotheticals today. Now you got me on something.
I mean, since we can't really talk about the season finale of The Mandalorian without spoiling
And
for
yeah.
people who haven't seen
And
it
yeah.
yet.
All right. Ready? You ready for a hypothetical question?
Sure.
All right. A building's on fire. You have the choice of save one of your siblings or save 4 strangers. Who you picking?
You go with your sibling.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
4
know those
to
people.
1.
I don't know those people. It's not for
Wow.
the greater good.
That's true.
That's like saying burning building. There's one of your children in there, or you could save 10 strangers. Who are you going to save? You're going to save your child. Are you serious?
That's true. I mean, if I think about it that way, like if it was my own child, yeah, I'd save.
I
And
mean,
even my own family, yeah, pretty much anybody in my family, I could probably save.
it's
the
not
most.
that you have anything against them, but it's generally speaking, people are gonna. It's not about how many more you can save. They're gonna save what's close to them, what matters to them. That's self-preservation. You might say, "Oh, I'm going to do the right thing and save the majority," You're not.
To put it to the test, I need.
Let's go
need
set a building on fire. Mwahaha.
Yeah. Okay. For $35,000, would you go 3 months without washing, brushing your teeth, or using deodorant? Assume you cannot explain any of the reasons to anyone until after the 3 months is up.
No.
For 35 G's?
Nope.
Eventually, to you, it wouldn't mean anything. Like you'd be numb to the smell.
It doesn't matter.
35 days.
You can get diseases. I mean, you get an
For
infection.
not washing for 35 days?
Yeah.
I don't
You
think
have
so.
you absolutely could.
If I just live my normal lifestyle right now, which is like stay home.
Yeah, and you sit in a chair all day. I want you to do an experiment. Okay? I want you to sit
I'll
in your
do it.
chair every day for 5 days and not wash your ass. Tell me how you smell after 5
5
days.
days? Should I
5 days.
document this? Should I document
If
it?
you want to, just tell me how your ass feels
Day
after
one of
5
swamp
days.
duty.
Just tell me how
5
it feels after
Like, what do I
5
get
days.
for doing something like that?
You get nothing. You get to imagine what it would be like if you added 30 more days to it.
So 5 days sitting it on my booty.
You're gonna have squinch ass, right? You're just gonna want to
What's
jam a
squinch ass?
hairbrush or something down in there and be itching in between your ass cheeks.
I
Your
would
balls
love
are
to
gonna
try
smell
this.
terrible. I
I would
mean,
love to try this.
your
'cause I think
armpits
it's
are
good.
gonna smell. You just said that you can't deodorant anything, right? No water, nothing. You can't
No,
wash.
So you can't.
Nope.
You can't
Yeah.
wash yourself. Can't
Nope.
wash your hands. Now, mind you, I don't really wash my hands that much. I mean, besides like, when I go to the bathroom,
Oh, so you're the guy.
like going to the bathroom. Like, when else are you supposed to wash your hands? I mean,
Just-
you use hand sanitizer.
Just
Like, I have
generally-
hand sanitizer.
Just generally throughout the day.
Like, I keep hand sanitizer on my desk.
You know, like
I
after
probably-
you eat, or I don't know.
I never
go
do it
out-
after I eat.
Go outside after you went to the grocery store and touched a bunch of dirty fucking doorknobs. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Man, I'm the cause. I'm the cause. of
you're
COVID.
you're living your life on the edge, dangerously on the edge.
Maybe I'll just build up so much bacteria. I'll be built different. All right. What happens if it's raining? That's a good question. That is a good question. What if it is raining? Well, you're not really washing your. Actually, you are
You're not
kinda
really-
washing your-
You're not really
You are washing
trying
the
to
floor.
wash yourself at that point, right? They said that
Yeah,
you
I
weren't
would
allowed
just-
to use water on your own. Like you can't take a shower. You can't
can't
like
brush
go
your
and turn on the
teeth.
sink. But I mean, if you happen to be outside and it's raining, I mean, it's not like you planned that.
I think if your daily life, like for you, that would be hard. 35 days, you couldn't tell. 35 days, you couldn't tell anybody why you for 3 months. Wait, that's 3 months. That's not 35 days. My bad. It's 3 months without washing yourself.
Yeah, that's a long
That's
time, dude.
That's 90 days.
That's half a semester of school.
without washing your butt. Or now brushing your teeth. The one guy said if you didn't brush your teeth for a few days, you would just become numb to the smell. But that's what he said. He's like, even though your nose is like right here, your mouth is right here, you just become numb to it. What do you think about it?
I'm good. I think I'll just keep using soap and water.
Yeah. All right.
I like soap
I
and
agree.
water. Soap and water is good.
All right. If Jurassic Park was real, would you visit?
Fuck yes, in a heartbeat.
You would go see dinosaurs?
Like no questions asked. I know they've made 5 movies talking about the dangers of cloning dinosaurs and how that would be a terrible idea. Yep, I might die, but I might not. Have some cool stories. Just saying. I'm in.
All right. I mean, hey, that's okay. If
There
you
was a
could
lot
have-
of people that visited the park before all hell broke loose. I mean, I could have been in that first batch of people where everything went fine.
That was before they got the T Rex. That was before the T Rex showed up. We just had the nice, friendly, like herbivores.
Before shit got real.
Yeah. If you could have a free unlimited service for 5 years from an extremely good, either a cook, chauffeur, masseuse, from those 3 options, which one would you choose? 5 years free.
Chauffeur.
Chauffeur.
Yeah, I hate driving.
Chauffeur. Wow.
Yeah, I absolutely hate driving.
I think
I
I
don't
do
like
it cook.
I don't like getting up in the morning and having to warm my car. I don't like when I go like if you have a chauffeur, their job is going to be like, "All right, I'm going to this thing. I have this thing to do in the morning. The car better be unthawed and ready to go." Like that's part of his chauffeuring duties, and he's going to ensure that I get there. The ride is going to be comfortable. I don't even have to pay attention to traffic, and he's going to get me there wherever I want to go. Yes, chauffeur, definitely 100% chauffeur.
I see mine's in between cook and masseuse.
I don't like people touching me, so that one's out for me.
Like I would just say cook because then I wouldn't have to worry. Like everything's just I don't have to worry about the food. I don't have to do anything like that. Like I just show up and eat. Like chauffeur is a good one. But the only thing for the chauffeur, I will say it has to be Ron Sheet from How I Met Your Mother.
I don't care who it is. I just want them to
No, it
have
has to be Raji.
I
It
just
has to
want
be
them.
Raji.
I want them personally to have a British accent and
British
call me
accent?
call me sir.
I was gonna say my luck if I had to get a chauffeur, it'd be Lloyd. Lloyd from freaking Dumber and Dumber. You're more likely to die on the way to the airport. uh man, these are so good. Uh gosh. Okay. It now this is gonna get real selfish here, depending on what you answer. If you could steal 20 years of extra life by letting a stranger die, would you do it?
I need more preface to that.
What do you mean? I mean, this is all the
It,
question says.
is it just a random person?
Yeah, it's a random person, random stranger. You don't know who they are. You'll never know that they died because of you. You just know that somebody died because of you.
No, I don't think I could.
20 years extra.
Nope. I mean, if I could target where the death was going, yes.
Okay.
Like
I think a lot of people would though.
but I would target, like bad people.
Yeah. But like that is kind of crazy. Like now here's my thing with it. If I get the 20 years, do I get to like pick the time frame in which like I had the 20 years extra?
Yeah,
Like
see,
say like
that question's way too open ended.
yeah, because like if I
do I add
okay, if
20
I'm
years to
80,
the prime of my life, or yeah, like you said, I'm already 80. Do I just stay 80 for
oh, I
another
get to
like
live to
20
be
years?
100.
I get to be another
I guess
100 years. Does my body keep degrading, or do I stay the same age as when I
No.
steal the 20 years?
Uh,
I don't have enough info for that. Because to
If you had
me,
to oh yeah,
some creepy child pedophile or something, I'd happily take 20 years away from them and kill them. But I don't know them. They would still technically be considered a stranger.
yeah. All right. Here's another question. This is good. This is good talks. Like I'm starting to find out the true Kevin here. My man is not selfish. Like he said, you know what? If it was a
I
bad
am
person,
selfish. I just told you that I would save my family members over strangers in a building.
I think the majority of people would.
I think they
See, we
would
need
too.
to. You know what? We're cracking these out. New Year's. I'm
Okay.
going to ask people because I feel like these are some good questions. Like, I wonder how many people would actually save the 4 random strangers. I feel like that's a solid one.
I feel like we have a few people in our family that might.
All right. If you had to lose 2 limbs, whole legs or arms, what would you choose?
Legs.
It could be any 2. You'd lose both your legs.
Mhm.
You'd be Charles Xavier.
That's kind of the goal, right? I mean,
I feel like I don't.
I
I don't want
mean,
to say I don't use my legs.
I
don't
use
want to
my
say that
legs.
'cause-
I love getting up and walking around and
Yeah.
kicking things. It's fun. But so many other things I like to do involve my hands. Like I'm a gamer. I like to paint. I like to write. And I feel like without my hands I couldn't do that. And I wouldn't want to lose one of each. That sounds terrible. So
That's a good one though. Like I think I would pick. Like I love my arm.
I know,
Having my
right?
and I just feel like legs is the easy choice because like
I feel like I don't think it's the easy choice. I mean, ask it to the person who's ever fucking walked in their life. Like they're not gonna be like, "Oh man, legs are terrible." No, they'd love to have their fucking legs. But
like my thing is with the whole like arm situation is like you use your arms for everything.
yeah, but I mean, you use your legs for a lot more than you realize.
That's true.
Like try putting on
Walking.
pants with no legs. You know what I mean? Like it's
You wouldn't have to put on pants.
Wait, he's gonna be butt naked? You're not gonna cover your ass?
I put towel over me. I want to be as free as I can be.
I mean that's an interesting hypothetical.
What about that? Is true. Half and half. You're allowed to do half and half. You can take one leg and one arm.
No, I mean
I
even
just feel like
because I'm right-handed, you know, so I could still do a lot of things I like to do right-handed, but I couldn't do all the things I like to do with only one hand. So
that's a tough one. That's hard to pick. I already know the answer.
that one was pretty easy for me. I'd definitely go with legs.
I think I'd do that too. I really would.
Like I said, walking around is great and kicking things is fun, but I don't know.
I heard this hypothetical. This isn't from the list. All right. Would you go 12 rounds with Mike Tyson or put your mom in the octagon with Conor McGregor for 30 seconds? Like, I mean, like, which one would you do?
My
No
mom?
rest in the octagon, by
No,
the way.
I
Yeah,
put.
your
And she
mama.
only got the last 30 seconds. Yeah, I'd put my
30
mom. In the,
seconds.
my mom was tough.
30 seconds.
I feel
in
like
the
she could have.
octagon.
I feel like she could have handled 30 seconds. 30
You
seconds.
know, you're not the only person to say that. Like,
I feel
like
like
my
she was
mom's
really,
tough.
really tough. I mean,
I could
she
not. I could.
she was a gangster. Don't get me wrong.
Now, like I said, the other like things to that question is like, what do you have to pick here? Like, the 12 rounds with Mike Tyson, is it rounds like you have to keep going?
You had
no
to
matter
keep
how
going
bad-
even if he beats you up and you can't fight
Yeah.
anymore.
like, but like the same thing with the octagon situation, because like Conor McGregor and
She
even a
could
UFC
run.
fighter-
I mean, she could run for 30 seconds. I feel like
I don't know. I
maybe
feel
that
like
last
you'd get pinned.
15 she might be in trouble, but that's only 15 seconds.
30 seconds in the octagon.
It's fine. Yeah, no, I feel like my mom can handle it.
I don't know. I feel like I couldn't do that to my mom.
But you have to pick one. I'm not gonna let
I mean, I wouldn't
Mike
lie. I'd
Tyson
show up to the-
punch me
I'd
for.
show up to the fight.
I'd more than show up for the fight. I'd teach her how to run fast, you know. But
Yeah,
I can't do that
we
since
wouldn't-
my
we
last
wouldn't be
question I
doing-
gave away my legs. So
we wouldn't be doing any training prior to this fight. Only training we're doing is agility and speed.
speed and agility. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna look like one of those the like competitive tag matches.
She could
that
almost just lay on the ground in a fetal position and last 30 seconds.
I don't know, when they start doing those hammer fists on top of your head, like. Yeah, that's like the other thing. Like, does the ref stop it after you're knocked out, or did like they get the full 30 seconds? All right, but Heo 2010, what's up? Welcome to the stream. This is an interesting one. This is hypothetical, so feel free to chime in, guys, with your answers. This is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Meet job. Okay. Would you accept a 30K a week job offer? Okay. So 40 hours
Mhm.
a week. Job offer. $30,000 for 40 hours of work.
A
Where you got
week?
paid to where you got paid to sit in complete darkness.
For 40 hours?
40 hours.
I don't think anyone could do that.
Complete dark.
No, I don't think anyone could do that.
I don't think they could either. But 30K a week, would you accept the
you,
job?
you might be able to do like a day or two of that, but
Like 5 days, like you had a little 2-day
Uh,
break and then you go back the next week.
I mean, like Hugo's not wrong. Like if you could sleep, I mean, yeah, but
I
if
don't
you
think
have
you'd
to
be
stay
able to-
awake, then
Well,
no.
you're not allowed to sleep on. Here's the thing: you're not allowed to sleep on your job.
But you're not doing anything. All you have to do is just sit in darkness. I didn't say you had any other tasks. You just had to sit there.
You had to sit there. You had to sit there. Sit.
I
No
would say that
sleeping.
if you were allowed to sleep, then yes, it would be easy.
Oh, it'd
Anyone
be
could
easy.
do that. But
Yeah,
if
but-
you are not allowed to sleep and you have to actually stay awake, it would be. I think most people wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, it says in here. Would you? Oh, I didn't read the last little bit. It like cut off. But it says, you would do nothing for 8 hours a day.
I feel like after a while, you'd probably just fall asleep. I mean, like if you go into your bedroom right now and you turn off all the lights and you just sit there on the floor or anywhere in a chair, eventually, if it's completely dark in there, you're probably gonna fall asleep. Maybe not like right away, but after like an hour or two of just sitting there not doing anything, like you can't look at your phone, you can't watch TV, and it has to be dark. I feel like you probably just fall asleep.
Yeah. They definitely have to keep a way to keep you awake. All right. Would you be willing to give your left middle finger surgically removed off your hand and be guaranteed be immune from all diseases?
How
Cut
is
your
the
own middle
how is the finger taken off surgically, or I have to do it
surgically.
myself?
Yep, surgically,
Oh, well, that means anesthesia and shit. Psh, no problem. Take it off.
and you're immune to all diseases.
Yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer. Who cares? I
You
don't
give
use
your
it
middle finger.
on my left hand. Yeah, what do I care? I
feel
don't
like you
use
cut
that.
off
I,
yours.
I mean, I use it for typing, but I would adjust.
I did. Join.
I mean, I
Oh
still
my
have the majority of my fingers. I feel like I'd be fine.
Would you rather be deaf or blind?
Um, I
I
think
think
I
deaf.
think deaf.
I feel like not okay. If we have any blind people in the chat, I'm really sorry. Like this might sound really like bad, but like I feel like you have more fulfillment of life being deaf than you do because you can't see anything.
Well, I mean, then it goes back to the hypothetical of you could go to work every day for 8 hours in the dark. I mean, that's pretty much a blind person's day every day. They don't see anything.
Man, why are they not getting paid 30K?
Yeah, why are they not? That is bullshit. And I'm not even being like kidding here. They should definitely get paid more money.
That'd be cool though.
See, like we look. See, I think some of these hypotheticals are kind of fucked up, right? Because you're talking about would you do this or this, and this is some people's every day, like not having legs
Yeah.
or arms. That's actually what some people go through, and we're like, I'd rather do this, and this guy's like, I already had this, and it sucks, you know, like
Yeah.
that's
Like-
my life.
Like I definitely switched up. Like the guy that didn't have legs, he'd be like, "Nah, man, I'd take my arms off before I had like I want legs again."
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if the
yeah.
guy has no arms, he goes, you know how hard it is to beat off with no fucking arms. It's hard, okay? It's difficult.
It is pretty impressive. And if you spend a little bit more sleep, you get extra. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a good one. I don't know how good it is. Like I haven't read the fully out yet, but maybe. All right. Would you rather live another 60 years but not be able to leave your house ever again, or live for 10 more years and feel free to go and do whatever you wanted?
I can have visitors.
It just says you can't leave your house.
Yep, I'll take the 60 years.
60 years.
Mhm.
It's not bad. Now I'm assuming you still age, and I'm assuming you're guaranteed life, so you're probably just healthy. You just age.
It's fine. I'll be 100 years old.
That's not bad. That's not a bad trade off, honestly. Like that could be the world we live in now. Like I mean, okay, you could cure all diseases in the world forever, but all you have to do is murder one innocent child. Would you do it?
Done. Yeah, easy.
One innocent child for the whole
Abs-
world to be saved
absolutely.
from diseases.
Okay,
think I
so
would too.
if you follow Christian mythology at all, one guy gave up his life of torture and stuff to protect the whole world from sin. So I mean, that guy didn't really ask to be murdered like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he knew it was going to happen, but
Yeah. I will be able to go to the garden in those 16. It's 60 years, not 16. So 60. And no, you can't leave your house. You can't even walk outside.
no, I think I developed my house as a garden inside. Whatever, I mean, you can have everything delivered. I'd tear the roof off, put some glass windows in there. I mean, like, you got 60 years to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm assuming money is not a factor either.
No, I mean, you have to have some way to continue to live.
Yeah.
But look at all the money you'd save from not having a car, no car insurance, like no gas money, or if you
Yeah.
don't have a car, like you don't have to ride the bus or the train or public transit, whatever you have to do. You'd save a ton of time.
Okay.
But yeah, innocent child versus saving all the world from diseases, that's a no-brainer. Do I get to pick the child?
I mean, I guess if you want.
He's like, you're getting kind of dark with it.
It didn't say you couldn't. Okay. I'm gonna read this one out. If someone offered to tell you accurately, exactly where you'd be in 20 years, but you'd be powerless to change anything. Couldn't change anything for the next 20 years. Would you want to hear it?
No,
No.
no. You don't want to know your future.
Why? I mean, why?
Because, okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say that the person says, all right, this is where you're going to be in 20 years. You've been
Yeah.
dead for 15 years. That's where you're at.
Why you gotta say it like that, man?
I'm just saying, like,
let's look at a positive note. Like,
or you're broke,
alive.
you have diabetes, and your wife left you, and you're the saddest boy alive. Do you want to know that? No. Because all you're gonna do up to that point, because you can't alter the future in any way, it just said that you couldn't, is you're gonna think about all the things that are leading up to that. Your life will be
you
terrible.
just slowly
at that
see
point.
your life crumbling away in front of you, and you can't do anything.
That's the hypothetical, I think, from
hey, you got 20 years to cope with it, I guess.
with one of the it was one of the Twilight Zone episodes, I believe, where the guy could look into the future so many years and see how things were going to be, but when he did, he knew what was going to happen. There was nothing he could do about it. So then you had to say, it kind of goes with that theory of, if you hadn't known, would the future have still happened that way? Or was it because you knew, you basically made your life turn out that way anyway? So you don't really know. Is it because someone told you what was going to happen and it's inevitable at that point? Or is it because someone told you what was going to happen and then you slowly altered your life to make that happen and make it a reality? So...
Okay.
That's why I don't want to know. Like, the future, I don't want to know the
Yeah.
future.
That's a cool one, though. Like, because it could be, like I said, it's like, it's definitely one of those where, like, you rolled the dice and it's a serious dice roll.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a serious
either
D20
you just
roll
rolled
right
a nat, either you rolled a nat 1 or a nat 20. Like,
Speaking of, like, dice rolling, I cannot believe that I have convinced our team of Dungeons and Dragons players to let me run a holiday adventure.
I may be there. I may not. I don't know.
I actually didn't expect you to be there since you had not replied. So,
Well, I just know I think it's on Tuesday and Wednesday,
well, we're only doing it on the 23rd as far as I know,
which is a Wednesday.
which is a Wednesday.
I don't know what's going on that day, so I can't
Like I said,
confirm or deny.
My feelings aren't going to be hurt if you don't show up.
Yeah.
I know you're kind of like D&D fatigue at this point, but it's going to be a
Yeah.
Christmas themed adventure. And this is
Okay.
coming from my own imagination. This isn't from a book. It came from my messed up little mind. And
All
it's
right, this
supposed to be
another-
like self-contained. I'm going to hopefully have the whole thing wrapped up in one session so you don't have to wait until next week to see what happens. So,
All right, here's another good one. If you could start this year all over again, what would you do differently?
I
I
don't
already
think
got my answer.
I don't think I'd have stopped doing Ring Fit.
I think I would save Kobe.
What? It's not within your
I would
power to
save-
do so.
Yes, you could. I would save Kobe.
What if saving him throws the world into some sort of chaos? Maybe he needed to.
What if COVID never happened?
You said Kobe.
You save Kobe. I'm telling you, there's a correlation. You save Kobe, you save the world. It's like heroes all over again.
No, it's Harambe, man.
Harambe, you can't.
Harambe.
Harambe didn't die this year.
I know that, but that's what's really started us down this path. I truly believe that. It all started with that gorilla. I mean, it's been a shit show ever since that.
I don't know, when did Harambe die? 2015?
Yeah, it's been 5 years of pretty much.
I don't know.
shit.
16 wasn't bad.
I want you to go back and look at the history events that happened from the years 2015 to 2020.
Okay. I mean, I know there was
Look
a lot
up
of
major celebrity deaths, things going on in the world.
majors. Okay, let's just look up celebrity death.
Isn't this fun? You guys get to listen to all of our back and forth. Like, this is just how we talk.
2015 to 2020. Like I said, you could save Kobe. You're telling me you wouldn't save Kobe?
Not if it was necessary.
I would not enroll in this semester / year of college.
I mean, it's
That's
hard
not
to
bad.
say. Like, everything happens, but you got to remember that it's the whole theory of the butterfly effect. If you alter or change one potential thing, it could have drastic effects on everything else. We don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
Alan-
saving
Wow.
Kobe, the virus wouldn't be COVID. It would be the zombie eating plague. I'm like it could be
Yeah,
worse.
but I always wanted a zombie apocalypse.
Well, I mean, me too, but
Okay, Alan Thicke died in 2016.
mm-hmm,
Carrie Fisher,
mm-hmm,
George Michael.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just going over people I actually like know.
That you've heard
Personally.
of.
Yeah. Okay, that's 2016. 2017. This
When
is
did-
like really bad.
When did Prince die?
I don't know. Wow, it's so much easier. The other one was so much easier to read. Like, well, like it had like, well, Hugh Hefner died in 2017. If there is one bad thing that happened, in
That's right. I
2017.
forgot the Hef died.
Yeah, but like that dude was old.
He was old. He had a hell of a life too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Bill Paxton,
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Joe Young, touches my heart. Chuck Berry. Now he was 90. Like,
Yeah, but Chuck Berry's pretty badass.
Oh, Eddie Murphy's brother died.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Murphy. Okay. Powers Booth. What movie is he from? Powers Booth. I've seen him definitely before. Okay. Like I said, nothing crazy. Adam West. We lost Batman.
Yeah, like
Chester Bennington,
Chester Bennington. I think Chris Cornell died that year too.
John Hurd, Home Alone. Okay, maybe 2017 wasn't the best year. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, I wouldn't say the world's been crappy. Like, a lot of these people were old. Like, 2019 and 2018, like, some of the people that died, like Avicii died, Mac Miller died in 2017. I think what's his name? Triple X Tension died, and then Juice WRLD in 2019, Kobe in 2020. Like, you can't say the world didn't go bad after Kobe died, because we had the memes. Like, January was like memes about World War III,
Yeah.
and then after that month, Kobe dies. Like, just think about like all the stuff that's happened in just this year alone.
Well,
It feels
I
like
mean, we talked about it. Like every month, it was like a new thing. Starting at the beginning of the year, starting with World War III trending in, it was like New Year's Day. World War III was trending in New Year's Day of 2020. And then it just was like one thing after the next. And then, COVID became like this wide outspread thing in March. People are on lockdown. And it's been a pretty hard year emotionally.
Well, because
and we
like I
lost
said,
fucking James Bond this year, man. Like,
well, like I said, I mean,
what?
if you seriously look at it, I mean, 2020 feels like we've been in 2020 for like 5 years.
Yeah, but the year that I think it was either the year after or before when Harambe died. Don't you remember there was a lot of people talking about how hard it was too, because there was just like a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of notable celebrity deaths that one year. I want to say it was the same year that Carrie Fisher died. Like, there was a lot. Hey, what's going on, Jess and Nix?
Yeah,
that's one of my friends.
Like I said, I mean, I'm telling you, bad things happened after Kobe died.
Bad things happened before Kobe died.
The World War III memes weren't that bad. It was just funny.
Oh yeah, no, it was really funny that we thought we might go to war. It's no big deal. War is hilarious.
War.
It changes a man.
I
just had to throw that in there because you've been watching Rambo a lot, so
yeah.
Carrie Fisher's death hurt me. That was awful. I know we lost Princess Leia. That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
We lost her, and we lost Adam West like in the same year, I believe. Like, that's huge.
Okay. If you could go back to any age for a month, which one would you pick?
Oh,
1 month. You get 1 month at that age.
31.
Why 31?
A lot happened. A lot of good
Okay.
things. I feel like that was like the peak of my life. I feel like it all
That was
kinda
peak.
I feel like it
That
all
was
kind of went just like downhill from there. So
that was peak.
yeah,
Peak Nick
I'd go.
displays games.
I'd go 31 or maybe 24, but probably
Okay.
31.
See, like for me, like I'm like super young. I think what I would do. Oh man, I'm like I
Jess and
like my
Nick's,
life.
They say 19.
19. That's a good one. That's a good time frame. Like mine's like where I'm at right now. Like even though 2020 and all that stuff, like I've made the year good overall. But like me, probably 17, 18. Where I'm still in high school and stuff. Cause like, I don't know, had some good times. Feel like I left some stuff behind though. Like, like left it out on the field.
I mean, we,
as
we,
they
we
were.
all kind of feel like if we could go back with the knowledge that we possess now and go back to our younger selves and like give them all this knowledge, would you? And I'm like, yes. Why would you not? Even though we'll say that if you could go back and talk to your 13-year-old self with just the knowledge that you have now,
Yeah.
would you do it?
Yeah.
And I mean, absolutely you would. You'd be like, you need to avoid that bitch over there. She's going to break your heart. You need to do better in school. You need to do this more or whatever. Like, of course you would. Even though, like, you haven't had, like, a hard life. And I'm not saying that you haven't been
Oh,
through
yeah.
struggles. Everybody has struggles. But, it's not like you've had a terrible life or anything. But still, like, if you could go back and make changes or look at things in a different way, I would. Absolutely.
I would assume it probably wouldn't change the future, Jess. It would just allow you to live in that time frame for a month.
Yeah. I
Uh,
even think going back with the knowledge that you have, I think that it would really help some people who feel, let's say that you lost your job, right? And your job was everything. And in that moment, you feel like, what am I going to do? But if
Yeah.
your future self came back and said, like 3 months from now, everything's going to be cool. I can't tell you what, but like it's going to be cool. I feel like you would know that's going to happen, or at least you would feel better about it because you just came back from the future and said everything's going to be fine. Like this is not the end of the world.
Yeah. This is a good one. If you could time travel and meet your parents before you were born, what would you say to them?
Don't do it.
I was gonna say pull out. That's what I was gonna say. But,
Wrap it up, Dad.
but I don't know. Like, see, I feel like that would be.
There's
like, really
some
cool
sick
'cause-
people in the world that would be like, "Go get her, Tiger." That's what they would say, and I'm like, man, that's your mom.
Or what if it's really weird and they bang their mom?
You mean like in Back to the Future when the mom tries to bang her son?
Yeah, like some Back to the Future.
It's like one of those creepy ass things that happen in movies, and like just no one talks about it.
We just brush it under the rug.
It's like no big deal that your mom tried to molest you.
Yeah, but you can't say that or you change the future.
Plot twist: you banging your mom is the reason that you exist. Oh no.
Okay, so this is what
that's
this
weird.
is what
gross.
doesn't make sense. Okay, so hear me out. Okay, this actually just threw me through a big huge time hole here. Back to the Future. Obviously, he goes back in time and he meets his mom at the
Mhm.
dance. He looks the way he looks from
Yeah.
when, like, at him as a kid, at the dinner table before he went back in time. When they move to the future, how does she not think in her head, you look just like the guy I went to school with?
Well, I want you to think about something. How long of a time between that and the present for Marty McFly was it? 20 years? 25 years?
Maybe.
Now, you haven't been out of high school that long. But
Yeah.
how long has it been since you've been out of like elementary school?
Okay.
Can you remember some of the kids that you grew up with in class? Like, think of what your best friend in the world looked like back then. Can you remember what he
If
looked
I
like?
almost banged somebody, I think I would remember what they looked like.
I'll tell you what, I have almost banged many people in my life. and
You
I don't
whore.
I don't remember all of them.
Not even like a fraction of what they look like.
No, I feel like after a while, you just kind of don't even think about it anymore.
But they saw each other at school every day.
For 2 months of their life. It's
I
not
think
like
I can.
it's not like they were in school together for 14 years. He was
It
there
just
for
doesn't
like
make sense.
he was there for like a couple of weeks, maybe.
There's a hole in the movie plot. I don't like it. Now that I think about it,
Maybe you would have thought about it, maybe not.
I feel like they should have.
I feel like the dad, if anything, should have been more pissed off. Like, man,
That's
why
what I'm
does
saying.
that
You had
guy-
two people.
Why does that guy look an awful lot like that guy
Okay.
we used to go to school with? Did
Okay.
you run into that guy
That's
later?
That's the other thing. You have Biff and all of his friends, and you have the parents.
I'm
Like,
gonna
there's
tell
so
you-
many people.
I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Get 10 more years under your belt. Get 15 more
Okay.
years under your belt. And then I want you to think back to the people that you went to school with. Unless you have like a fucking yearbook out, you don't remember what all those people look like.
I mean, I could agree. I may not know their name. I will admit to that. I would not know their name, but I could
It's
definitely.
like I run into people sometimes that I went to school with, and I look at them now, and I don't remember what they looked like then. And there's a couple people that I still talk to that I went to high school with that I don't remember what they looked like in high school. I only know what they look like now. Like you don't think about it. It's the mind is a weird thing, man.
Oh, dude, this is such a good one. I feel like this is such an easy one too. If you could, okay, if you were offered something that erases your body's need to sleep, would you take it?
So you never feel tired?
Never feel tired. You never feel like you have to sleep. You don't even have to sleep.
Yeah, that's super easy. Yeah, no, why would I? You get so much more
Yeah.
stuff done. The only
tell you-
problem with that is if it was a commonplace thing, these companies, corporations, and businesses would now make the workday like 12 to 14 hours a day for everybody, and you never have any time to get anything done anyways. You know that's true. Like, if you don't have the need to sleep, you get to stay here all day.
Yeah. This is actually kind of another one. How would your life be different if your average life expectancy was 500 years? In my opinion, it would just be, like your 20s last like 40 to 50 years. Like,
So
that
your
kind of
life
stuff.
expectancy would be like a dragon. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like you spend like the first couple hundred years getting fat and out of shape and being lazy, and then like maybe when you're like 250,
I got 100 years to actually finally hit my
you
weight.
might go,
my-
hey, I
my-
think
my
I'm gonna
goal."
hit that gym, you know.
Oh my gosh. Would
I don't
your
know.
life-
I think I'd train in something, right? Like you have 500 years to master this.
This guy's the master of beating off. He
I'd
spent
tr-
100 years under the
I'd
dragon style.
train. I would. I'd train. I'd train in something,
Yeah.
in some skill.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel like you have to devote huge amounts of your life to it as long as you just do a little bit of it. I mean, for 100 years, eventually you're going to get good at it.
Yeah.
Like I'd learn skills like maybe I'd learn how to play the guitar or I'd learn a fighting style or something, like something that you feel like you don't have time to do now and it's really frustrating. But now I have 500 years to master this skill. So
That's awesome. That would be awesome. Though. I'm not gonna lie. 500 years, like that'd be cool. If you could send yourself a message from 10 years ago, okay, go back in time 10 years.
Mhm.
Now, like I said, if you did this message, I'm gonna set up my own stipulation. If you did the message, it wouldn't change bad things from happening over the time frame. Like not really history change, just your personal self. Okay, you have 10 seconds. What would you tell yourself on that message?
but it doesn't change anything, right?
It doesn't. So like COVID still happens now. Like if you're like, hey, the winning lottery numbers to play on this day is X, Y, and Z. Like you can become rich, you can become famous, like all this stuff. Like, oh, you can tell yourself, I'll buy stocks in Tesla when they come out. Like you make yourself a millionaire. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it doesn't change the bad things or like how the future has turned out. It just changes you personally. So like you could be rich, you could be.
I don't think that money is. We all talk about like money being this great thing. We all think about how cool it would be to have millions and millions of dollars because we think that you'd just be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy whatever you want, but if money was the source of all happiness, there wouldn't be an awful lot of depressed and suicidal celebrities. Like these are people who have everything and they still kill themselves. Why? Because money doesn't buy you everything that you need. So for me, no, it wouldn't be a financial thing, right?
You have
I
10
would,
seconds.
I know you have
So you
10
can
seconds to say
You
whatever
can
you
do
want.
quick power ball, and then like motivational speech.
No, I wouldn't even give myself a motivational speech. I'd probably give myself a message like it'll always be better tomorrow.
Okay, that's a good one. Because like in chat, we had Jess say, "Put yourself first more, practice more self
I
love."
mean, I know I could probably say more in that in the 10 seconds, but I mean, it'll get better tomorrow, and I feel
Yeah.
like that would be an important message for a lot of people to hear from their future self is that it'll get better tomorrow. Has to, right?
Yeah, yeah. See, that's a good one, but like, I don't know. I
I
think
know
I would.
you're seeing the dollar signs. I get it, and that doesn't
Yeah,
make you a bad person because you would want to be more financially secure and
like,
enjoy your life. You know, like
yeah. Well, like, my
obviously
thing
having
is
more
like,
money would let you enjoy your life in a different means than it lets you enjoy your
what
life now.
what I would do personally, like, it would be more of like I would love to be able to set up myself slash everybody around me. Like, think about if you won the Powerball when it was like at $110 million. Okay, now mind you, nobody ever knew you won the Powerball. You just were rich. Okay, nobody bothered you and stuff like that. Like, imagine, I paid off my parents' house, paid off, all my family's debts. Nobody owes anything. They get to enjoy their life now. That kind of thing. Like that kind of thing. Like I wouldn't use the money to get it to my head. Like don't get me wrong. I'd like to have fun with it. I would definitely like I'd buy some nice cars, like just like I'd be chilling. But like at the same time, like I knew nobody in my family would have to stress.
My value of material things is a lot different than other people's, and you know that. Like, money's
Yeah.
never really been my thing. And granted, I buy a lot of stuff. I buy a lot of stuff that I don't need. I think we all
Kev's
do.
like I'd have every amiibo.
I already have every amiibo except for like 6 of them. That's not really the point. And I did that without being a millionaire. I mean, obviously, yeah, you'd probably spend it on different things, but for me, having a bunch of cars and stuff, I don't see the point. Having like
I
a
just want one car.
big expensive house with, I don't need that either. Like, I don't need anything that shows the stature of my wealth. I like stuff, and I would probably give more stuff to people because I like to give people stuff. That's me. Like, I'm like, hey, I thought you would like this. Here, you can have that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh okay. If you were a superhero, okay, which one of your friends would be your sidekick? And what powers or skill sets would each of you have?
Well, honestly, I'd probably pick you because you're
You're
like
gonna
the
be a
comic.
sidekick, ladies.
You're
and
like the comic relief in almost every situation that we're in.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm a little bit too dark and ominous. So that's why I'm Batman and you're Robin. It's not any offense to you not being able to do it. You got to remember that the original Robin was just as skilled as Batman. It's not like he was
Yeah.
a little blurb that no one cared about. When he went off and was Nightwing, I mean, like, he's probably one of the only guys that could potentially beat Batman in a fight because
Yeah.
Batman taught him everything, right?
Now
So-
what were the skill sets you would have? and power?
My powers, I've always said I'd rather have teleportation. As far as what you do, I don't know.
You get to pick it. You get to pick it.
I get to pick your powers.
And skill set.
I would
Or
say
you have powers. You have a choice.
Yeah, well, I'm
powers
gonna
or
go. I would want teleportation. I would probably give you something like invulnerability.
That's a good.
I mean, like nothing really.
I'd
Can
be
hurt
like
you.
fucking Wolverine.
Kinda, yeah.
Nyx would obviously be my sidekick. We both play guitar, so defeat our enemies with our fusion licks.
I like it.
That's a good one. That's a good like sidekick. Like
Jess is so awesome. I don't. You should go follow her page on Instagram.
I will.
Her and her friend, they do a bunch of the Animal Crossing stuff, and like the posts they make are just really cool looking anyway. But they're hilarious. I've talked to both of them, and they're both just wonderful people.
okay, if you were a famous superhero, what would be worse? Being stuck with a terrible superhero name, or having to dodge lovesick fans at every rescue scene?
I feel like I feel like the nickname.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
I want you to remember how this went for Taserface in Guardians of the Galaxy.
that's so messed up.
I know he wasn't a
Uh,
superhero, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So
All right. Let's go with like 2 more questions, and then we'll start to wrap it up here. If a zombie apocalypse would happen right now, what weapons would you choose? What would your one weapon of choice be?
some kind of a sword.
So we're talking like, you know, like a katana, anything
Yeah, something
like
really sharp.
Michonne style.
Yeah, but I mean, those kind of weapons are not like common. They're not really easy to find. Not a legitimate one.
You get it though. You get it. You like.
But yeah,
if you're,
definitely.
like,
I mean, does it have to be a real weapon, or can it be any weapon?
what are you gonna say? The ray gun from Call of Duty, like that? You can't use.
No,
that.
I'd go with a lightsaber.
I feel like that's a reasonable thing.
Yeah, I mean, if
We'll
we
go-
could
we'll
pick,
go with,
if we
like,
could pick any
We'll go
any
modern
weapon.
technology and totally make believe.
See, Jess said the same thing as I was saying it. She said I would have a fucking lightsaber because that would be it would never go dull. I mean, it can cut through damn near anything, and you can deflect bullets and shit with it.
I don't think you can deflect bullets. You can only deflect the lasers.
But if we're in the future, I mean, and we have lightsabers, I'm sure we
purple
probably
one,
moved
Mace
on
Windu
to laser
Mace
guns
Windu
too.
style. Okay. Now,
But if
we're
we're talking about just like now, like if the apocalypse happened right now, definitely
Yeah.
a sword of some kind.
I think I would go with like Daryl Dixon route, crossbow,
I think it's a good choice. You got to go something that is reusable.
reusable and silent.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
guns.
crossbow's
Eventually,
fine.
you're gonna run out of bullets. I mean, there's a lot of bullets in the world.
You're gonna run out. You're gonna run out of bolts before you run out of bullets. In theory.
Yeah, but I know how to make a bow. I know how to make arrows. I've made one before. As long as you got
Okay.
wood, you can make bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Native
I think
Americans.
a-
I mean,
a
they
lightsaber
crafted
would be
bows
badass.
and arrows. You know, so I would go with a sword of some type.
A lightsaber would be badass though.
But if I could pick any weapon, it would definitely be a lightsaber.
Okay. You would go
Uh,
with Negan's bat. I like
Negan's
it.
bat. It's
I
pretty
like it.
good. It's pretty good.
like
I feel
that
like
one.
it might be a little slow for some, but I mean, it definitely gets the point across. As in, you're not one to be trifled with.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, when he wheels Lucille around, like things get.
Bad things happen. But I also told you that I'm the type of guy that I would live in a cave, right? I would move completely away from civilization. I'd move as far up north as I can, somewhere in like the remote access areas of Canada. And if I couldn't make
Yeah.
it that far because of reasons, then I would still live in a cave, golem style, right? I'd just have a loincloth and I would just eat whatever I can catch, whether that's, people, animals, babies, just whatever. Anything slower than me, I'm eating it.
Okay. All right. This is the final question of the day. It's a good final one. If you could learn one skill in the world without trying, like Matrix learning style, okay, which would you pick?
Like, does it have to be a real world skill?
What do you mean? What do you mean real world?
I mean, because I would give myself superpowers.
I mean, I don't think you can teach yourself how to fly.
I don't
Without
wanna fly.
trying.
I want to teleport.
I don't think you could do that.
So any skill I want, I would teach myself the knowledge of all languages.
Ooh. It's a good one. All languages. My man's over here just like Cantonese, Japanese, Chinese. Like, that's a good one. I like that one. That's actually a solid one. I think I would pick. Like, I mean, I already know the skill, but like be a master at it is programming.
Jess
Like
said
being able to
she would teach herself the Kamehameha. I like it. I told you she's awesome.
But yeah, no, I think I would pick like being able to program in every single language at the highest level. Like nobody's better than me. I'm the fastest at everything.
All right, so second question is: am I the only one that gets this power?
Yeah,
No one else has this power.
no one else has this power.
Then I would learn and become the master of all fighting techniques.
That's a good one. Master of all fighting techniques. Okay.
All fighting
okay.
techniques. No one could best you, right? You're the master. You know all of them.
I like it. I mean, I like it. I ain't mad. But that's all I have for hypotheticals. That was actually a really fun time.
You got to delve a little bit more into my mind, so that was,
And that's what it's all about.
which is funny because you've known me your entire life, and I still feel like you learn stuff about me all the time.
A complete master kick Yoda's ass. Hey, Yoda did nothing wrong. Like Yoda didn't deserve a nice fresh ass whooping.
But you're the master
Oh.
now. You could even beat Yoda.
Oh my god.
Well, I hope that you make it to the Christmas themed Dungeons and Dragons adventure.
I'll try. I'll
If
definitely
you-
try to be there.
I mean, obviously, if you
Fun.
can't, I'll be sad on the inside, and I might cry a little bit. But we're gonna play without you anyway.
That seems fair. But ladies and gentlemen, episode 72 in the books with always the favorite, always the lovable, the handsome Nick Just Plays Games.
That's me. That's my name.
Yep. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the cold weather. Grab a cup of hot cocoa, tea, coffee, whatever brings your spirits up.
Rum, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. And if you guys somehow learn Goku's powers, let me know because I'm gonna stay out of your way.
And I got a list. I got a list of people that you can practice those powers on.
Sounds good. But thank you guys all so much and have a great rest of your Sunday. I am Veer Coach,
And I am Nictus.
and we are out of here. Stay nerdy, San Diego.
That was a good one, but it actually amazes me that people come back every week. We're on the closing screen right now, so
Oh, I know.
I like to let it fade out with our comments of after the show for a couple seconds, then I turn it off. They never know when that's gonna happen, though. Ha ha ha.
They never know.
They never know.
They knew nothing.
They know nothing.